So of all the things in a new house that was left up, this is the most interesting. I don't know where exactly one would purchase, focus, there we go. I don't know exactly where one would purchase fan poles of this variety, but they are interesting. Focus. So konnichiwa everyone, welcome to the new shop. This has been a long time coming. Over the last year or so, the wife and I were squirreling away money and we were able to make a down payment on a little house in the countryside. It is fantastic. This is my old workbench as usual. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the direction I've decided to take the channel. If you can't guess by looking at this, that is a part of a guitar. That's also a part of a guitar. And those are guitar sides over there. Those are guitar molds on the bottom of the shelf of randomness here. Couldn't tell. The shelf of randomness is just a shelf, but here's some Japanese tools of some variety. I apologize for the mess. We are still kind of organizing. There's more guitar wood up here. If you couldn't guess by the aforementioned parts and pieces before you, I have actually decided to embark upon a little journey, on a quest, if you will. I am going to try to become a small shop guitar maker, and what that means is I'm going to make a couple of guitars a year, probably entirely by hand. They're going to be interesting, but they're going to be, you know, kind of standardized in their own way. But the reason I'm doing this, I actually, for my day job, for quite a while, I forget how long exactly, but for quite a while now, I have actually been a guitar and string instrument repair person, and the proper term for that is a luthier, if you want to sound fancy schmancy with it. And so I thought, rather than separating my day job from what I do on YouTube, since everything is woodworking in this case, I thought, why not do it on YouTube? So we're actually going to be building some guitars on this channel here. Now I'll still be doing the Japanese stuff. I mean, I do still have all the old Japanese accoutrements that I have made for myself, but we are going to be doing some different stuff along with that. I probably won't do like full-on builds, you know, from start to finish guitar, part one, part two. That kind of stuff is never very interesting to me, and it just tends to be really monotonous doing that. So what I'll probably do is show some highlights, like bending sides, making a top, bracing, that sort of thing, along with some Japanese projects kind of sprinkled in. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you guys my new little space. So this is the workbench. We've got a couple of little tool walls over there we're slowly populating using magnets and stuff. Now, if you're a patron on Patreon, my house did flood, as I wrote in an update a little while ago. We're still getting rid of some of the junk from over there. And the flooding actually did get water all the way in here, and it was this whole side of the house. On the other side of that wall there is the master bedroom, and so the whole way through, we had water through the flooring. We lost some drywall in here. It's all repaired. We're just waiting to get enough money to do the flooring again. Not a big deal. Life goes on. But I do have quite a few things planned for this room. We're probably going to build a new workbench. Not to say this one's bad, but it is a little old. It's a little creaky. So it does have some pros in the sense that it's old, but it's some cons in the sense that it's creaky. So we'll build something big and heavy, and what we'll probably do is kind of bring it over this way. Have a nice big tool wall over there. I want to keep the tools up and away from any of the guitars that we'll be building. On this side, we'll probably do some artwork. We got some nice open spaces there, not counting the artwork of the flamingos. And if you guys remember the Wabi Sabi cabinet, that is actually made to hold guitar sides, backs, tops, that sort of thing. Because no matter where I looked, it was impossible to find a cabinet that was actually the right size to hold something that's this long. This thing is about 34, maybe 32 inches. So as you can see, the cabinet holds it quite nicely. So we're going to start running out of the gate with that. Then my favorite book up there, which I did mention this in the little Toy Blocks video. So Nathan Pyle, if you're watching any of my videos, no, big fan. And moving onward with the tour, this is an old Gerstner dentist tool chest that a friend of mine named Court actually gave me. It's a pretty cool thing. I like it. Another friend of mine helped me out with a couple of repairs that it needed. I would like to get a couple more of these going throughout the shop, but they are very cool, but they're very expensive. Gerstner stuff is not cheap. And if you guys are wondering which model Gerstner this is, for those that are fans, it is a model, I think it's a model 13, something like that. No, model, I can't even read that, model 24. And of course a prerequisite if you're going to make guitars is the guitar making book by Mr. Cumpiano. Very good book, very good resource, highly recommend it even if you have a passing interest in the craft. So I need to learn how to do autofocus because you guys can probably hear me adjusting the lens back there. If any of my viewers here are actual camera geeks, this is a Canon Rebel T2i, little lowercase I. If you know how to do an autofocus during the video mode, let me know in the comments. I will happily take any advice. This camera shoots really, really nice video compared to my little old camcorder over there. And yeah, figured I'd use this instead, just kind of up the game a little bit. Prerequisite luthier's vise, I'll talk a little bit about that. The shelf of randomness, I've got guitar molds there, clamps, stuff, and then planes, tools, sandpaper, that kind of thing, and more wood on this side. And the nice thing about a big rack like this, you can store clamps, you can store whatever you want, and this thing makes a great clamp rack. Thankfully I don't have a ton of clamps, so I don't need to store a whole bunch of stuff. Moving onward with the tour, we got my guitar cases here, my small collection of didgeridoos, and that's really it. The majority of what we'll be doing here is, like I said, we're going to do small guitar stuff, one step at a time. I'm not going to do a full-on guitar build all the way through covering every single detail because there is a lot of detail in building a guitar. But if you guys are wondering, like I said, I have been doing this for a living for a while, not the guitar making, but the repair side of it. And it's going to be cool to branch out into making. There's really a lot of crossover from the repair side into the making side as far as the woodworking aspects go. But I am actually very excited. Like I said, we're not ditching the Japanese stuff. We're just moving in a new direction and doing some different stuff because I think it might be cool to do some Japanese woodworking on this big open wall space here. Got some ideas in mind for that, we'll just have to see. But anyway, thanks for touring the very small new shop. The nice thing is, it's indoors, it's air conditioned, and it's my new space. And we have floors, which is great too. Oh yeah, there's also some storage down there. It's another machinist chest with my old toolbox I made many years ago, still working. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for all your support, especially the patrons on Patreon. You guys have given me the confidence to start doing this kind of stuff and to branch out a little bit. Just knowing you guys have my back is great, so thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. So stay tuned for more stuff later on. I will probably be putting up some guitar related stuff in a month or so. My videos are so far apart just from being a dad. That sucks up so much of your time. It's very hard to find time to do videos or even woodworking for that matter. But I figured since I'm doing the guitar stuff for a living, might as well incorporate it. And I think it'll be a neat little change and might be interesting to you guys. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. Have an awesome day. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sayonara.